lonely highway, an empty forest, and a single wrong turn that opens the gates to madness. Chris Flynn is driving through West Virginia when a traffic jam blocks the road. He checks his map and decides to take a smaller route through the mountains. The road is quiet, the woods thick, and the air feels heavy, like the trees are watching. He crashes into another car already sitting in the middle of the road. The owners, a group of young friends, are confused and scared. All of them are trapped. No phone signal, no passing cars, nothing but silence. They walk through the forest to look for help. What they find is a nightmare made of bone and flesh. A small, rotting cabin stands in the woods. Inside, the furniture is built from human remains. There's a fridge full of arms and faces. The air smells of decay. Before they can escape, they hear an engine outside. The killers return, 3 disfigured men, twisted from birth and years of inbreeding. They drag a body inside and slice it apart on the table like meat. The group hides inside, shaking with fear. When the killers sleep, they run. The forest becomes a maze. Arrows fly, traps snap, and screams echo across the trees. One by one, they die, shot, cut, or dragged away. The killers hunt like wolves, enjoying every cry for help. Only Chris and Jesse survive long enough to fight back. They find the tower where the killers sleep and set it on fire. Flames rise, the forest glows red, and the killers burn alive, or so it seems. At dawn, Chris and Jesse escape. But when the screen fades, one of the monsters crawls out of the ashes, smiling through blackened skin. Evil never dies here. Wrong Turn became a surprise success, earning nearly 5 times its budget. Critics were divided, but horror fans turned it into a cult favorite. It proved that people still feared what waited in the woods. The sequel wastes no time. A woman drives through the woods, laughing on her phone. The signal cuts. She hits something on the road and steps out to look. The forest whispers. Then a giant mutant swings an axe, splitting her in 2. Blood paints the leaves. The title appears, Wrong Turn 2, Dead End. A new set of people arrive, contestants for a fake survival TV show hosted by a former soldier, Dale Murphy. They believe they're here for money and fame. But the cameras will not save them. The woods belong to an entire family of inbred cannibals, Ma, Pa, brother, sister, and the one called Three Finger. The game begins like a joke. They film scenes, eat from cans, and laugh. Then one contestant vanishes, then another. The crew finds half a body hanging from a tree. Panic hits. The contestants realize the traps around them aren't props. One man gets torn in half by barbed wire, another crushed in a pit of bones. Dale, the host, turns into the fighter he once was. He hunts the cannibals, moving through their home filled with blood, bones, and old victims' clothes. The air smells rotten. He shoots, stabs, and burns them, killing Ma and Pa in a storm of rage. But even as he dies, their laughter echoes. One mutant escapes into the dark forest, carrying on the sickness. Fans liked its crazy violence and dark humor. It never hit theaters, but became a hit on DVD shelves. It showed the series could survive without big names or studios. The third movie starts on a river. A group of young friends laugh, drink, and swim through the forest. They do not see the eyes watching them from the trees. Three Finger, the last of the cannibals, waits with his bow. At night, he kills them one by one. Arrows through faces, throats ripped apart, bodies dragged into the dark. Only one woman, Alex, escapes. She runs, hides under leaves, and listens as her friends are cut into pieces. Meanwhile, a prison bus moves through the same road. Inside are guards and killers chained to seats. The bus crashes, leaving everyone stranded. They look for help and find the same woods, the same traps, the same blood. Three Finger enjoys new prey. He kills a guard by slicing off his face, another by ripping open his chest. The prisoners panic and turn against each other. They meet Alex and force her to guide them. She knows death follows close behind, but they have no choice. The forest is filled with traps, steel spikes, tripwires, bear traps. Three Finger kills one prisoner by driving a metal rod through his skull. Another falls into a pit of sharpened bones. The air grows colder. In the end, only Alex and one prisoner survive long enough to fight. They use his own tools against him, cutting off his hand and stabbing him through the heart. He falls into the fire, screaming. Alex walks out alone, covered in ashes. When the police arrive, another mutant steps out from the shadows, holding a bow. The sickness is never gone. Wrong Turn 3 was cheaper and smaller, made mostly for home release. Viewers liked the traps, but hated the acting. Before we move into Part 4 of the Wrong Turn series, prepare for darkness ahead. Hit like and subscribe to stay locked in as we break down the most brutal and relentless moments in horror. The fourth film takes us back to where everything began, inside the West Virginia State Sanatorium years before the first movie. Snow falls outside. The walls are cold, the hall's empty. Three mutant brothers are kept as patients. Three Finger, Sawtooth, and One Eye. Doctors treat them like animals, but one night they break free. What follows is chaos. They tear the nurses apart, eat the guards, and paint the white halls in blood. The asylum dies that night. Decades later, a group of college students go snowmobiling through the same area. A storm hits, and they find the old asylum to hide in. It looks dead, but something still moves inside. The friends explore the building, touching old tools and laughing at the graffiti. They find a kitchen full of frozen meat and jars, with unknown things floating in liquid. Then one girl goes missing. They find her body hanging upside down, head missing. The killers, the same mutant brothers, have been living there all this time, feeding on anyone foolish enough to enter. Panic spreads. They try to barricade the doors, but the brothers break through. The halls fill with screams. One of the friends captures a mutant and ties him down, hoping to escape while he's trapped. But his brothers come back with blades and saws. They cut the survivors apart, cooking them in the kitchen like food. Two remaining friends escape into the snow, freezing and crying. They see a snowplow and wave for help. The vehicle stops. They smile for a second before realizing it's the killers driving. The blades rip them apart. The snow turns red. The asylum stays quiet once more. Part 4 of this series shocked fans with its gore and snowy setting. Critics hated it, but fans of blood-soaked slashers enjoyed the chaos. It kept the series alive by showing where evil was born. The film opens on Halloween night in a small West Virginia town called Fair Lake. The streets are full of noise and costumes, but the woods nearby stay silent. In those woods, the cannibal family returns. The same disfigured brothers who feed on anyone unlucky enough to pass through their land. Three Finger, One Eye, and Sawtooth are back, and they are hungry. At the same time, a group of college friends heads to Fair Lake for a music festival. They drive through the dark highway, laughing, unaware of what follows them. On the road, they nearly hit an old man standing in the middle of the lane. They stop, step out, and meet Maynard, a strange drifter with a cracked smile and dead eyes. He taunts them until the police arrive and arrest him. But what they don't know is that Maynard is not just a drifter. He is the father of the cannibal brothers. The sheriff takes Maynard to the small town jail, locking him in a cell while the festival rages outside. The friends stay nearby after witnessing the arrest, trying to calm down. But the forest around them begins to move. The mutants have come to save their father. The town loses power, and the phones go dead. As night falls, the brothers begin their hunt. They cut off the electricity, slice the police lines, and move through the shadows. The sheriff fights back, trying to protect the friends trapped inside the station. The killers shoot arrows through the windows, dragging bodies away in the dark. One friend gets pulled into a wood chipper. Another has her eyes burned out with a torch. The screams echo through the empty streets. Maynard laughs from his cell, mocking the survivors. He knows the outcome before it happens. One by one, everyone dies except the sheriff. She fights until the last bullet, but they finally corner her and tie her to a road sign. When daylight comes, her body hangs beside the main road, her eyes open but lifeless. The killers drive away in a stolen car, free again. Wrong Turn 5 was filmed fast and cheap, but gained a small cult following. Viewers liked the cruel tone but thought the acting was weak. The box office was limited, yet fans kept it alive through word of mouth. This one begins far from the woods, in a dark, foggy bathhouse. A man and woman are enjoying the water, but something watches from behind the steam. A metal chain whips out and pulls the man under. When the woman screams, she's dragged through boiling water until her skin melts. The title appears, Wrong Turn 6, Last Resort. The story follows Danny, a young man who inherits an old mountain resort after his parents die. He travels with his friends to see it, hoping to start a new life. The resort stands deep in the forest, hidden from the world. Its halls are silent, its mirrors dusty. Two caretakers, siblings named Sally and Jackson, welcome him. They seem polite at first, but something in their eyes feels wrong. As days pass, Danny begins to change. He feels drawn to the forest, to its whispers, to the smell of blood under the soil. Sally tells him that the resort was once home to his ancestors, a family that practiced cannibalism to survive the harsh winters. Danny laughs at first, thinking it's a joke, until he meets his real relatives, the Mutant brothers. They call him one of their own. Danny's friends want to leave, but the caretakers drug them and drag them into the woods. One by one, they die in horrific ways. One man's face is torn open by barbed wire, another burned alive in the hot springs. Danny watches it all, frozen between fear and curiosity. Slowly, he gives in to his family's bloodlust. In the final act, he fully joins them. He helps kill his last friend, proving his loyalty. The mutants smile and welcome him home. The camera pans over the resort, now filled with bones, blood, and firelight. The bloodline continues. Wrong Turn 6 was banned in several countries for its extreme scenes. Fans called it the worst of the series. The movie made headlines for controversy more than success. After years of sequels, the series started over. This one was not a simple continuation. It was a full reset. The movie begins with a man driving into a small mountain town, asking about his missing daughter. The locals stare, silent and cold. Then the film cuts to weeks earlier, showing the daughter, Jen, and her friends hiking the Appalachian Trail. They are warned not to wander off the main path, but they do. The forest is calm at first, filled with green and mist, but strange traps appear. Logs with spikes, ropes, snares, pits. One of the hikers dies when a log rolls downhill and crushes him. The group panics, believing someone is hunting them. They stumble into the territory of a hidden group called the Foundation. People who live off the grid, deep in the mountains, rejecting modern life. They are not mutants, but they are savage and ancient in their own ways. The friends are captured and taken to a mountain court ruled by the leader, Venable. He accuses them of trespassing and killing one of his own. They try to explain, but he does not care. One man is blinded, another beaten to death. Jen watches in silence as her world breaks. She tries to escape with her boyfriend, but the woods are filled with traps. The Foundation moves like ghosts. They recapture her, but Venable takes interest in her calmness, her survival instinct. He offers her a place among them. She accepts, broken and hopeless. Months later, Jen's father arrives, searching for her. He finds the hidden community and finally locates her. She looks changed, wearing their clothes, speaking their words. She tells her father she's staying, but when Venable leaves, she stabs him and escapes with her father. They drive away, covered in blood, silent and shaken. But the film doesn't end there. After credits, Venable and the Foundation appear at Jen's house. They act calm, pretending to be guests. Jen invites them in, smiles sweetly, then kills Venable with a knife hidden behind her back. The camera follows her outside as she walks into the street, splattered with blood, while a camper van burns in the distance. The cycle of madness starts again. The final part of the series divided fans but revived attention. Some said it stripped the series of its soul. It pulled heavy digital sales and pushed the franchise back into mainstream talk. Across 7 films, Wrong Turn became more than a slasher. It became a nightmare that kept reinventing itself. Every trap, every wrong choice, every shadow has been laid bare. If you survived this breakdown, hit like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most famous horror movies. Don't miss the next nightmare waiting on screen.